This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, San Miguel Beer answered back and refused to fall behind the defending champions, even a series taking down Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. And the Kraken is still a nightmare for any matchup. Filipino star Kai Sotto will miss the B.League Asia All-Star, still recovering from a torn ACL. Who are the other stars that will banner the Philippines in Nagasaki? Filipina tennis phenom Alex Eala is set to cash in at the Australian Open, making her main draw debut at this season's first Grand Slam tournament. PBL has finally addressed rumors of the potential NX-led Petro Gazz merger. What does the league rules say about this issue? All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 7th of January. Now, here's our rundown. Jeron Tang came off the bench and flipped the script in the second half as San Miguel Beer evened the PBA 50th season Philippine Cup semifinals at one game apiece, pulling away from Barangay Ginebra 93-84 Wednesday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Tang scored all 13 of his points after halftime, adding 5 rebounds and 3 assists in just 15 minutes of action. Don Trollano and Jericho Cruz ignited San Miguel Beer's third-quarter rally before Tang seized control in the final period, giving the Beermen the support they sorely lacked in Game 1. Junmar Fajardo once again dominated inside with 21 points and 23 boards as the Beermen avoided a 0-2 hole heading into Game 3 on Friday, also at the Big Dome.
This time, it's really hard to win a game, especially most of the team is equally competitive. When it comes to lineup, everyone has a talented player. I think it's a matter of time for them to realize how to win all Filipino. But in our case, gusto rin namin manalo pa ulit because sabi nga nila, this is our conference. But there's nothing absolute in this tournament.
Stephen Holt and RJ Abrientos led Ginebra with 18 points each. Meanwhile, TNT Tropang 5G took command of the series, grabbing a 2-0 edge over the Meralco Bolts following a dominant 109-92 victory. Calvin Oftana led the charge once again, pouring in 26 points and hauling down 7 rebounds. Meralco now faces a must-win as they look to avoid a 0-3 deficit this Friday, January 9, 5:15 p.m. Filipino center Kai Sotto remains sidelined as he continues to recover from a torn ACL. The B-League announced Tuesday that Sotto will not participate in the 2026 Asia All-Star game in Nagasaki. The 7'3" big man is still in non-contact training and is prioritizing rehabilitation over a return for the annual exhibition. Sotto has been out since January 2025 after suffering the injury while playing for the Koshigaya Alphas against the Seahorses Mikawa. Despite his absence, 4 Filipinos will suit up for the All-Star Games: Dwight Ramos, Kiefer Ravena, AJ Edu, and Ray Parks Jr. Francis Lopez will also compete in the Relive Dunk Contest. The B-League All-Star Weekend runs January 16 to 18. Filipina tennis phenom Alex Eala is set to cash in at the Australian Open, making her main draw debut at the season's first Grand Slam. Even a first-round exit guarantees Eala 150,000 Australian dollars, nearly 6 million pesos, with prize money climbing all the way to 4.15 million Australian dollars for the champion. The Australian Open runs January 12 to February 1, featuring a record 111.5 million Australian dollar prize pool, up 16% from last year and the biggest in tournament history. In Auckland, Eala and American partner Iva Jovic reached the doubles quarterfinals, knocking out Venus Williams and Elina Vitolina. In singles, Eala advanced to the round of 16, upsetting Donna Vekic in 3 sets. Eala next competes at the Kooyong classic exhibition in Melbourne following the ASB Classic. Amid growing speculation around possible roster moves in the Premier Volleyball League, the league has made its position clear. PVL Chairman Tony Boy Liao confirmed that a merger between Petro Gazz Angels and NX-led Chameleons will not be allowed under league rules. Liao explained that the PVL does not permit team mergers, and any plan to combine two clubs would require one team to cease operations. According to Liao, this position was also affirmed by PVL President Ricky Palou. Under league policy, if a team disbands, all of its players automatically become free agents, making them eligible to be signed by any team in the league. Liao noted that this process is consistent with previous cases, including the situation involving Cherry Tigo crossovers, where players entered free agency after the team's operations ended and contracts expired. The clarification comes as teams prepare for the upcoming PVL season with roster movement and structural questions drawing close attention across the league. For now, the PVL has made it clear mergers are off the table, and any major changes will follow existing league rules. A busy night around the NBA with late heroic statement wins and teams shorthanded but delivering. In Memphis, the Grizzlies pulled out a thriller, edging the San Antonio Spurs 106-105. Cam Spencer scored 13 of his 21 points in the fourth, including the go-ahead bucket before Santi Aldama sealed it with a game-saving block on De'Aaron Fox in the final seconds. Jaren Jackson Jr. also finished with 21 as Memphis won despite missing Ja Morant and two other starters. In New Orleans, it was a star-powered night for the Los Angeles Lakers as Luka Doncic and LeBron James combined for 60 points in a 111-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Doncic posted 30 points and 10 assists as the Lakers won their third straight, spoiling a career-high 42-point night from Trey Murphy III. In Indianapolis, the Cleveland Cavaliers kept rolling with Darius Garland dropping 29 in a 120-116 win over the Indiana Pacers. Cleveland won without Donovan Mitchell, while Indiana slid to a franchise record 13th straight loss. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the other games around the league. With former heavyweight king Tyson Fury teasing a comeback and ex-champ Anthony Joshua back in the win column, could this be a big year for boxing's longtime standard bearer? Attorney Ed Tolentino breaks it down when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. With former boxing heavyweight king Tyson Fury plotting a return and ex-champ Anthony Joshua grabbing headlines with a high-profile win, is this shaping up to be a big year for boxing's longtime standard bearer? Attorney Ed Tolentino joins us again to break it all down. Good evening, partner.
Good evening, partner, and good evening po sa lahat ng nanonood ngayon.
Heavyweights ang ating usapan ngayon, partner. And I was looking at the rankings. Siyempre, nandun sa tuktok si Alexander Usyk, who has all the belts except for the WBO belt. Now, the WBO belt is being held by a guy from the UK named Fabio Wardley. Undefeated, 20-0, 1 draw. Is this guy relevant? He's ranked number 2 right now. Kaya lang, hindi siya masyado pinag-uusapan, attorney. Ano ba ang sitwasyon ngayon sa heavyweight division?
Well, right now, we have to be clear about this. The real heavyweight champ right now, the most dominant champion right now, is Alexander Usyk of Ukraine. He is actually the undisputed champion until he was directed by the WBO to face Fabio Wardley. But the problem here is that Usyk is also contemplating retirement already. He's say that I want to retire 2-3 fights. That's why he gave up the WBO title. The WBO champion right now, Fabio, impressive record, 20 wins, 19 by knockout, but he is relatively untested. There are so many defensive flaws in this British fighter. So many believe that Usyk is now picking his fights, and he deserved it after having beaten the likes of Dubois and Joshua and Fury. So he deserves it. His career is winding down. So there is a need for some of the remaining heavyweight fighters to step up because Usyk is winding down. Tyson Fury is returning, but he's also 37 years old. So everything is winding up for these guys. Anthony Joshua, forget about the win over Jake Paul. But the problem with Anthony Joshua right now is that he too is contemplating retirement after the death of his close friends in that vehicular accident in Nigeria. So there are some issues about Anthony Joshua if he still wants to fight again. Apparently, he's still in a state of shock after what happened in that vehicular accident. He's supposed to face Tyson Fury in one of the biggest all-British fights this year, but that fight may be on hold depending on whether Anthony Joshua still wants to return.
What about Deontay Wilder? I looked at where he was situated in the rankings at napakababa. Ranked number 20 sa heavyweight. Itong si Deontay Wilder, I couldn't even recognize the names of the other heavyweights above him. May pag-asa ba tong si Wilder against Usyk?
I think we had seen the best of Deontay Wilder. He is no longer the same fighter. The aura of invincibility of Deontay Wilder was already shattered, reduced into bits by Tyson Fury. That's what people are saying. Alexander Usyk wants to fight him. It's a money fight, nothing more, nothing less, because Deontay Wilder does not belong in the same ring as Alexander Usyk. You see the skills of Usyk. No way is Wilder capable of matching those skills. I think it's a money fight. Like I said, Usyk is winding down his career. He's now picking his fights. So it's all a money fight in my opinion. In fact, Wilder does not deserve a shot at the heavyweight title right now. The unified crowns currently held by Alexander Usyk. He does not deserve this title shot that is apparently being planned by Usyk. Usyk is supposed to fight Fabio, the WBO champion. But like I said, he gave up the crown and opted for the money fight against Deontay Wilder.
The last time I saw Usyk vulnerable was in The Smashing Machine, the movie of The Rock. So he's also dabbling into acting right now kasi wala na siyang decenteng makalaban dito sa heavyweight division. At the age of 38, attorney, ano pa ba ang kailangan gawin ni Usyk para mag-retire as one of the greatest of all time?
Actually, he has done basically everything, kasi na-unify niya yung World Heavyweight Championship, undisputed champion in the four-belt era. May mga gusto na labanan niya yung British knockout artist, yung Moises Itauma. They want him to fight this guy because he's a 21-year-old British prospect, hard-hitting. But the thing is, sabi nga ni Usyk, sa mga bata na yan, kayo-kayo na lang mag-away-away dyan. Ako na may mamimili na ng laban ko because I've beaten everybody. I believe I deserve a break. So I think Usyk is just winding down. Nakita mo, lumalabas sa mga pelikula. Inisip niya yung mga post-career moves niya. So he has done a lot. Unfortunately, there is really nothing more left. As far as Usyk is concerned, that's why some people are saying, you can step down at the height of your career. There is nothing more to fight. There is no one else to fight. He had already tamed Fury, Dubois, Joshua. Ang galing, And to think he's not that big, a heavyweight, because umakat lang yan from cruiserweight. But the skills, unbelievable skills of Alexander Usyk. Right now, ang tingin nila yung Moses Itauma na lang, yung 21-year-old guy. If this guy turns out to be for real, then he is in a perfect position to take over once Usyk retires. Because yung Tyson Fury, wala na rin in my opinion. Yung partying, the heavy drinking, all these things. Nag-caught up na sa kanya eh. And let's admit it, take away yung kanyang victories kay Deontay Wilder, wala naman talaga masyado na-accomplish yung Tyson Fury. More talk, except for the Deontay Wilder series, wala rin naman masyado. And he was also knocked down. So he's big skilled, pero sabi natin sayang kasi he has some mental, physical issues, and it's payback time. Medyo naniningil na sa kanya.
Attorney, whatever happened to the great American heavyweight era? I remember during the time of Mike Tyson, you had Evander Holyfield. Those days, parang sa ngayon, puro mga British boxers na sa heavyweight division, European boxers. What happened to the great American heavyweight era in boxing?
Well, the big heavyweights right now are in the World Wrestling Entertainment. Nandun na, nasa football, wala na gusto mag-boxing, Deontay Wilder was the last notable American to win the heavyweight championship. Right now, mga British boxers na ang nagdo-dominate, nakikita na po natin, kung si Mike Tyson gusto pang bumalik, nakita natin talaga may problema ang American heavyweights. Ito yung division nila. Ito yung talagang hinahawakan nila. Ito yung talagang premiadong division. But right now, wala ka talagang makitang matinong heavyweight other than Wilder in his prime, Wala na rin yung Wilder. So right now talagang it's payback time. Kasi there was a time naman in boxing na puro mga Amerikano, wala talaga mga British champions. Puro sila na-knockout, napapahiya ng mga American champions. Now it's payback time. It's payback time. Noon, nagsosolo si Lennox Lewis. Now, ang dami. Ang dami. Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. Ang daming mga British fighters ngayon. They're all stepping up. They're all talagang skilled boxers. Magagaling. So, nawala talaga. All of a sudden, nawala yung mga American fighters. Meron pa yung Moses Itauma, another British up-and-coming prospect. Nawala. Nandun sa wrestling. Yung mga Amerikano ngayon, nasa football. Ayaw na mag-boxing. Masyadong risky.
Nagbago na talaga, partner, itong boxing. Now, we have Netflix fights, more of the fights becoming events rather than actual boxing fights. Now, there has been another event being floated around. I'm not sure if it's AI, I'm not sure if it's fake news. Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Ano ba to? Totoo ba to, Attorney Ed? Is this something that could actually happen?
Yes, they're planning it. Totoo po yan. Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Alam nyo, may ugat yung away ng dalawang boxingero yan Sapagkat there was a time na kinriticize ni Mike Tyson si Floyd Mayweather for calling himself as the greatest of all time. So sinasabi ni Mike Tyson, alam mo, wala kang authority to bill yourself as the greatest of all time. Dapat yan manggaling sa mga eksperto, sa mga critics, hindi yung ikaw mismo. So, medyo nagbabangayan yung dalawa. Itong si Mike Tyson, sapagkat binanatan ni Mike Tyson itong si Floyd Mayweather. If it does happen, of course, nakita nyo naman yung weight disparity. Most likely, exhibition lamang ang mangyayari sa labang ito. But then again, Manny Pacquiao also wants Floyd Mayweather Jr. Gusto rin. At ito mas tamang laban, in my opinion. Mas magandang laban ito, pareho lamang halos ang timbang. At saka may history talaga si Pacquiao at si Floyd Mayweather Jr. So, ewan ko, iba na kasi ang landscape ng boxing ngayon Ito ang nauuso Ito mga ganong klaseng laban na parang fantasy matchups, Ito ang nauuso, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson. It's just a money fight, It's just a money fight, That's the way I see it. And it just tickles the imagination. Pero it does nothing really for boxing. It does not really do anything for boxing. Maring black eye pa nga sa boxing ito sapagkat alam naman natin, wala na yung Mike Tyson, retired na. Tsaka layo ng timbang. Ano isa-sanction ito sa fight? Most likely exhibition lamang.
Dapat, attorney, sa fight night na lang nangyayari yung mga ganong klaseng matchup, no? Mayweather,
actually,
Mike Tyson.
kahit sa video game, baka hindi payagan yun, hindi sanction Sabihin, masyado malaki yung disparity ng weight. Not allowed.
Attorney, for a last question. Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao, ano bang balita sa kanya? What's the latest with the Pac-Man in boxing?
Well, ang narinig natin last time, Manny Pacquiao really wants to fight yung Rolly Romero for the WBA Welterweight Championship. May titulong nakataya. Ang problema, negotiations apparently did not turn out well. Mukhang nagkaroon ng hindi magandang direksyon yung negotiations. Plus, the WBA now is ordering Romero to fight the mandatory contender. Hindi si Manny Pacquiao yun. Kaya all of a sudden, bumabalik dito kay Floyd Mayweather Jr. At mukhang yun ang magiging direksyon unless Romero finds a way to agree to the terms of Manny Pacquiao. The thing is, Pacquiao is still going to fight. That is something certain. Gusto pa niya lumaban. Kaya lang, walang titulo yung Floyd Mayweather Jr. but it's going to bring a lot of money. Pero mahirap kausap yung Floyd Mayweather in my opinion eh. Kasi maaaring hindi niya gustong itaya yung kanyang unbeaten record na 50-0. Kumbaga he's guarding it like a shell. Talagang masyado siyang protected sa unbeaten record niya. And siyempre, tapos na yung career mo. Ngayon pa ba ang pasusulot ni Manny Pacquiao of all people, So that's the problem. But if it does happen, there's no need for a world title here between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. The fight will sell. Kahit pa sabihin ng mga tao na matanda na pareho, inactive ng matagal, people will still watch this fight. Kahit na sabihin na ang pangit ng resulta ng 2015 fight nila, it was a boring fight actually, but there are still people who are going to tune in for this fight. But right now, sana matuloy yung Romero kasi yun ang competitive fight at may titulo yun, WBA Welterweight Championship. It will make Pacquiao a champion again and Romero is beatable in my opinion.
All right, there you have it. The latest from our boxing analyst, attorney Ed Tolentino. Partner, maraming salamat and good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Scorecard.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Maraming salamat po.
Alex Eala is back on center court in Auckland. After a stunning comeback win, the Filipino tennis star takes on Croatian rising talent Petra Marcinko in the ASB Classic round of 16. The matchup, the momentum, and the Filipino crowd powering Eala's run. We will discuss that when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. And all eyes are on Auckland as Filipino tennis star Alex Eala continues her 2026 ASB Classic campaign. Fresh off a statement win that announced her arrival this season. The fourth-seeded Alex Eala opened her year with a gritty comeback victory, stunning Croatian Olympian Donna Vekic 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 in the round of 32 here at the ASB Classic. Now, Eala moves into the round of 16 where she will face a familiar flag but a new challenge. 20-year-old Croatian Petra Marcinko. This will be the first career meeting between the two rising stars. Marcinko comes in as the world number 82, a career high, and is riding the momentum of a breakthrough run that includes a recent WTA Challenge title. She booked her spot in the round of 16 after a tough 3-set win over Camila Osorio, showing both resilient and shot-making under pressure. Now for Eala, it's a quick turnaround. Singles action in the morning, then doubles later in the day where she and Iva Jovic are already making noise after upsetting veteran stars in the opener. The stage is set for a true next-gen showdown. But beyond the matchup, it's the moment that stood out after Eala's round of 32 win as chants of Alex filled the stadium. The Filipina star paused, visibly moved by the support. Eala said the atmosphere made Auckland feel like home. Alex Eala returns to center court for her round of 16 match, carrying momentum, confidence, and a nation watching. Here's the details of her match tomorrow. And with that, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again on the Scorecard tomorrow, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. And good night.